spotted a back. Reyes in danger. Can't quite get it through the window though.
It's a bit of a stance waiting for this stage 2 because it is uncertain, right? Could head down towards move on or head back up towards that north side, in which case 4MV is dead.
There he goes.
That is... I guess they could play Novo. They could play Novo. They could loot up Novo right now. But there is a high likelihood that they will have to move through the Eastern Bridge. So do they wait until the end of stage 2? I think they would. I think that's the smartest decision to go for. You wait till the end of stage 2 and then wrap around from the western side, hoping that Voindonkey has left by that point. We'll see. I'm not sure how I feel playing the eastern side, and that's what they're going to do.
I wonder how aware BTR are that teams could be coming from the South Bridge. With this hard of an eastern shift, though, it may not be unexpected that teams actually go through and just rotate through that military island, not actually go out and loot there initially, right? So maybe they're a little bit more wary of it now. 77 as well. They know 4MV's tricks from the group. They'll try and hold that out. As we hop on over to some of the positions that sit right in front of that bridge, a lot of teams making headway in. You've got Inco there on the northeast. You've got DX Xavier in the middle. Everybody piling on through. Major Pride, they're bringing a hovercraft with them. As slow as it may be, it's a nice block of cover. Very chunky in its presence.
It's not a bad thing to bring with you in terms of cover, at least, going in towards that end game. As we are area that has little compounds to play. It's just an area that does have some weird sightlines in terms of high ground. There's quite a few hilltops around this area, a couple of 3 stories to play as well. The teams will be looking
through Military Island to go for a rotate. You know, everybody's moving in from that west side, so there is a bit more of an opportunity maybe to find an opening there and get a successful crossing. It's a risk, but they might find 4MV for it.
Yeah, they might do. I think that when I was looking in terms of the circles, I was curious for whether Voindonkey would go for a northern wrap. I mean, you could play off the back of Prison, potentially. I feel like it is somewhat of a death sentence right now for 4MV to be making this crossing on the Eastern Bridge. I don't know. We'll see what happens, because Voindonkey will absolutely annihilate them if they do head over towards their south side.
First spray down towards the beachhead, but that position super exposed from the back, and as soon as Voindonkey ID get close enough, they will take those shots. They'll take them down. Out to the east side, so everybody in the west further condensed now. Mirin Sejong with that spread out towards Milta, the Milta Peninsula, really, really powerful in that hole.
77. Shifu sending nades over the top. That looks pretty good over towards Doc, actually. Does lay him very low. Question is, how many more nades does Shifu has? 2 more to work with. Has a good general idea of where 4MV is. Especially Doc. And the circle heads down towards southeast, John. Real cruel circle, but Mirin Sejong's made a good wrap, as I was saying, on that northern side, and been able to head over towards Milta at least. That's a strong position from them going forward.
Their back may challenge that. 4MV's fight with 77 on this bridge mouth is in the next circle blank, but Voindonkey ID are now going to have to move through it, which means that 4MV, if they're not aware of this, will just get barreled down. The question for me, though, is do Voindonkey ID actually want to stop, or do they want to just try and get through that fight and not engage with it whatsoever? Because they need to get into the circle. Engage.
Yeah, they could just fly on through. That might be a decision to make, but actually having this circle shift down towards the south side actually makes things so much more difficult for our teams that need to cross the bridge, because it means that a lot of our teams can stick around in these areas, continue to hold out squads. Like 77, their position becomes even more safe over on the western side, cutting out a lot of those sight lines over towards the east, John.
Spray down from Nolbu. Does get caught, but not taken out just yet. Hits the deck just in time. Felt like that was just a little bit lucky on the dodge, but the nade and the shots find chips as well on the off angle. D+ Kia losing another. There is a trade-off from Fabian to try and keep them in this one, but D+ Kia now down to one player alive. Nades flying over his way, and vehicles as well. Critter moving on through, trying to get that scouting done. Another one up on high, not quite fully on target there. Fabian launches one in response. Doesn't quite get the knock or the flush, but does slow down that approach. First aid available. They're going for the res instead. Team Liquid, they rock up onto the back line, a third party onto the high ground on the that may slow Team Liquid enough to find Stalwart's reses.
For Team Liquid, they're not too unhappy with this either, because they know that they've breached an area right now where they continue to push in. I think the main difficulty right now is for D+ Kia. Can they extract any value out of this with the two players they still have left on site? Currently in third place on the rankings with 22 points. It's not bad, but you sort of want maybe 1 to 4 eliminations on this game with the two players you have remaining in this area. There's definitely a chance for it. D+ Kia head out on the outside, and Stalwart's actually going down. One player underneath for them. Fearless trying to make this happen. Sanshir goes down. He's incredibly low, and he will be taken out by Team Liquid. Did D+ Kia get any more points off of that? Just the two. Just the two.
Team Liquid got 2 as well on that one, so not great, but they stay up as 4, which is brilliant news. Void Donkey, they went for a swim, or actually on some vehicles, either a hovercraft or a boat, across the water. They are now on that Milta Peninsula cliff face, so they'll try and make their way on up, which means that there is no backstop to that fight for 4MV now. So that position changes back to 4MV just trying to push in, as if there was no team behind them. However, they have lost a player. It is not Doc, though. So he is still in, but they're on 3 either way.
It is astounding to me that they have survived so long on this south side. I don't quite know how they've done it, but it's been incredibly passive. Next target will be DX Xavier towards their northeast. Really unfun circle, I would say, especially with the big amount of field towards the center of this one, John. A lot of teams having to play on the outer edge, and it's mainly of our squads.
Yeah, a lot of teams on the inside of the urban environment. Those fields out to the east. Max is going crazy. He's like, oh, they're playable now. Let's go. New mill to finish. And he's going to be breaking this one down, I'm sure. So pay attention to the death segment after this one if you want to find out how the pros are playing this area. 77 sweeping on the north and actually finding a little leg on Team Liquid. Able to find that first opener. Cardozo from the low ground wants to stop 77 from sweeping, but easier said than done. They continue to move on up to this high ground, and Cardozo will be fairly exposed pretty soon. As soon as 77 get up towards that high ground area. He's taking some bold shots here, but they do manage to find that answer over towards Shifu and Zadira as well as the Vicious chime in.
I think with Team Liquid, they have to take bold shots out this way. Realistically, their position is a little bit shaky. So for them to be able to take down 77 as they come in, they can start to look a little bit further down towards their south side, not have to worry too much about their north. That would be the ideal scenario, because there is still going to be teams making those northern wraps going forward. 4MV starting to push on out now versus BTR. Apex got dropped out the vehicle straight away. Good step up from one of the players, but is it too little too late as Doc goes down to 1 HP?
Doc with the nade, doesn't care that he's only on 1 HP, knows that he just needs to win these trades time after time. Zuxi, nade from the back line, Molotov to reposition, and again, Doc cooks the nade, but the shotgun's there, and there's the roll-up we feared. It was the roll-up we were delivered. 4MV finally cut out of the game.
The fact that he was still priming nades whilst on 1 HP is somewhat interesting. I wasn't expecting that one coming through from Docs. Could have maybe gone for the first aid kit, but I guess he was just looking for a chunky nade to come on through. Xavier, Vampire, all in the same location. This lineup off towards the western side of Milta. A very, very fun ending indeed that we're going to be seeing here. The craters over on the field on that eastern side going to provide a little bit of cover towards these teams. Mirror and Sejong actually picking up that spot. One of the few teams to do it. Again, Mirror and Sejong, one of the few teams that I can confidently say knows every single map like the back of their hand.
Oh, going straight on top of Milta, though. Vampire tried to get that crash into the west side of Milta. Major Pride got one. I think it was Xavier who got another, and now they've lost all of their players. Eliminated. A difficult crash to make. Not too many options for Vampire, but that is unfortunate that they are now down again low on the tables. They've only got 2 points total. It is not a good start for them.
Zeus off towards that east as well, John. Struggles bus position. They'll have to push on in. Mirror and Sejong decide, you know, with that shift over towards that western side that you were talking about, that they're going to move over towards the buildings set on the eastern edge. There is a little bit of staging in terms of the high grounds we set over towards the north side. Currently, I think Major Bright controls those warehouses, which are a strong spot to play in, actually, going forward. Curious to see how a lot of our teams on the north will play this one out. Limbo Boom goes down. That's the play zone. Team Liquid will move on with three eliminations in the bag.
The conversation of the northern sweeps right now between 77 moving up, taking a Team Liquid player down. Now Team Liquid again flexing out, taking some of 77 down. But there's still more threats abroad as Zeus start to move up into these hills on the north side as well. Will they be able to sweep through this as effectively as they maybe have denied 77 and Team Liquid the opportunity to be? Magnum spray down towards Zeus. Zeus on 3 players alive, but they cut through the last of 77. Magnum will be felled. 1 elimination for Zeus, but they do get a little bit of control. However, downhill still necessary for the next maneuver.
The Vicious up against Major Pride. Starts out well. David moves into the building. Becca's down. Elementric goes next. 3 players still up for the Vicious and Major Pride, with 1 player left remaining. And nowhere near close by. Nade goes in from Evo Station. Elementrix might be able to be picked up here, John.
I think they could get this res. It depends on what the aggression comes on through from the Vicious, but they're going for reses as well. Zeus crash into the north side, have made landfall, but Darkin is spotted. Loop's able to get that shot. They retreat away from it, though, so not confirming onto this flush just yet. Instead, priming the nade. That should do the trick, but Eren may be a little bit more concerning for them. A nice nade from Maniac, but it's immediately answered by Neil, leaving 1 player alive for Eren on this crash. And Zeus with the 1 player. Zeus out, 10th place.
There's always going to be a tough time for Zeus. And the fact they're even able to make this crash over towards Lutz was pretty awesome in the first place. The Vicious, though, with a very good spot. Being able to take that off the hands of Major Pride, considering the Vicious were on the outside edge. That's really good stuff from them. Currently sits them in 7th place. Things are going to slow down going into stage 6. Again, another urban finish, which is very unlikely, considering the amount of times we have not seen urban finishes over the group stages into a back-to-back here in the survival stage. It truly is a test for a lot of our squads to get to last chance.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it, but it is hellish for them. And big elimination counts can start to get racked up in situations like these. And once more, it's Xavier who, again, have a position on an off angle, and they're looking to pressure in from the edge. But they have 5 elims already blank, and the top of the tables is looking good. We were saying it only takes 3 or 4 good games to see you safe into the top 16, right? And Xavier, they've started off with 2. They're looking to put up a 3rd.
Boy and Donkey down towards the southeast side. Right on the edge. Like you say, though, Xavier actually pushing it from this western side with 5 eliminations. And they're feeling very strong going into this tournament so far. It was a hard circle for them last time here on our angle. They're looking for another difficult crossing again, but doing it with style. And with 5 eliminations, all players on full HP, looking for some decent shots. Levi's now peeking the angle. David thinks better of holding on to that one. Understand the play zone likely going to be the thing that causes the most problems to DXavier going forward.
DXavier have now managed to crunch in all 4 players into one building instead of having that wide sweeping hold on the west edge. So playing together now, they're going to have to move along the south side of the road, most likely. Crossing the road in Milta is a death sentence, playing. So we have 2 separate games going on right now.
Pretty much. It's all over the place. Mirror and Sejong do take a knock, but I don't think that that is unlikely to be res back up again. And Mirror and Sejong over on this eastern side, and they're pleased about this eastern shift on the circle as well. But a massive amount of fighting about to break out over on this western edge. Loops has a forward vanguard here. Scouting out, pulling out the binoculars, looking at what's going down. DXavier being harassed by all sides now.
It's probably the most dynamic part of this circle, right? The only team that needs to push forwards, and they move into BTR. Look at all the smoke cover they have. Satado on an off angle needs to be dealt with, and down they go. 2 players sent in to deal with that off angle. They get away scot-free, and the roll-up as well is working on the forefront. Levi's does nades to try and flush, finding not too much damage actually, and the long-range nade goes on in, catches Lapart. Brilliant find there, and BTR now just 1 player alive. The blue zone's pushing. They can get this res. Just Suxy remains for BTR to hold out on the southwest side of Milta, but he's got the nade. Looking to put it over towards DXavier. Is it going to connect? Looks like it's on target, but doesn't. Again, no more nades in the pocket.
Suxy looking to get it done here for BTR. Rest of the team has suffered. He's going to back off. I don't know how they're doing this. Up to 7 elims already. They've had a real tough approach to this circle. They were able to isolate a lot of their fighting down towards the south side, though. And I think that was the smartest choice that they made here. Good scouting from that team. Loops, who have been on their bellies, snaking their way in. Oh, come on. Gonna hit those shots.
2 players, 4 Major Pride, playing off the boxes is up to Elementrix now. The weapon swap, the Scar can't quite connect, and 2 reses possible for the Vicious, but 10 seconds on the circle. They need to be fast. They're prioritizing the first aids. I feel like that might be a misplay there, but they should have enough time just about to get these players back up. It's stage 7, 8 teams remain.
Stage 7, 8 teams still being up is remarkable by all standards here. Again, that's what urban finishes will do for you. So we move further towards that eastern side. So a big chance now for Mirror and Sejong. The team that had it all going for them in their group.
All still stands. Triangle has to wage into the fight, but 2 players from the Vicious are down. He could do just a little bit longer, but DXavier will win out the fight. However, there is are starting to tire now. DXavier, 8 elims and just Paragin remains. He'll fall down. And with a bombastic blast out on the southwest side of Milta, 3 teams fall.
There's just nothing left in the tank there at that point for DXavier. Fair play to Zuxi, though, who's like, look, I'm going down regardless, so I'm just going to try and send this to the limit. Actually gets a fair few eliminations off the back of that one as well. Mirren Sejong taking nades for themselves and Team Liquid playing over on that northern side. There were some nades sent their way from Mirren Sejong. A couple of knocks, but no eliminations found so far for Mirren Sejong, despite their good positioning inside the circle.
We were talking about the dynamics of this lobby, right? A lot of teams looking more for that elimination focus. If you can extract value from placements when everybody else is more bloodthirsty than you are, there is still some value in that, but that will be noticed. Teams will take advantage of that in due course, so we'll see if they can start to leverage now because we are into stage 8. There are still quite a few eliminations left on the board for them to try and pick up.
Team Liquid likely to be the next to fall. Southeast shift on the circle here, John, does provide Team Mirren Sejong with a lot of advantage. Team Liquid, though, struggling on the outer edges, but still top 5 finish. Not bad for them, considering they're playing in through from the fields. Now, they need to pick these ones up. Can't let them go to other teams, other squads.
Definitely a worse result for them, but they are starting to add to their tally now. Loops on that northern side. I mean, moving Nino out, I'll still really question that maneuver for them. They sent him over to the beachhead instead of keeping him with the rest of the team. Having 4 players on this position would be so much better for them, but now they've lost another and they're down to 2 on that northwest side. Loops gonna struggle here, but RCB potentially in for another good game if they can sweep this south side clear of Void Donkey ID.
Yeah, RCB coming just off the back of one urban chicken dinner, now looking for a second potentially. Seiwu steps up. Maybe another elimination stolen away from Mirren Sejong, despite finding the good shots through. Only one elimination found. Final. Looking for the 2 players here from Loops. Nades going in. We'll find Vitin. Just Rafina left now.
Mirren Sejong moving forwards. This should be the second elim. If they can find the chicken dinner, it would be 12, 13, 14 points in that sort of bracket. Would still be a good result. They've managed to put an 8-point average up in the first 2 matches. So we'll see if they can keep this one going. They've already guaranteed quite a few placement points and a decent result. Rafinha around the side for Loops. Looks to do damage to Mirren Sejong with the DBS, keeping him suppressed. They know he's only got that corner to play around with. From the south side of the road, though, the light up comes on through, and it's RCB with 11 eliminations. Far more bloodthirsty than Mirren Sejong, the team to try and take them down. And it may be from north to south, from Saverni to Milta, that Turkey starts to make their ascension.
I just don't understand the play there from Mirren Sejong. Expose you back like that to RCB, it felt like a huge mistake. Like, they had strong buildings to play against versus RCB into the future. And they don't find a lot of value off the back of that. Now it's just Seiwu and RCB looking to take this game home.
Ooh, a nice knock from Seiwu, though, and there's smoke cover to go across. We'll see if there's damage to be done, but no. RCB unwrap Milta. And that these guys cannot make it work.
The commander tosses the phone to the ground. It's as easy as that for them, and RCB pick themselves up the back-to-back here on Erangel. 2 urban finishes, and these guys are the urban warriors on the road.
I think Urban Warriors is definitely the proper name to be given. Regnum Karya Bros, they take 2 wins back-to-back in city finishes. Well done by them, but let's be honest, guys, and I heard Max. I even have to have my headphones on to hear him screaming about Mirren Sejong and that push onto Loops.
No, the casters echoed it at the end of that game, but really, why were you so committed on eliminating Rafina? Like, from Loops, I get there was a little bit of an issue, Hot Troops, but sending 2 players were initially behind the wall. They were safe from RCB. Yep. A little bit, literally 2-3 meters too far. You make yourself vulnerable, 2 players instantly knocked, initially by a spray, then by a follow-up grenade. If they don't do that, maybe because of the smokes they can win the game, but yeah, I don't think Rafina was worth losing 2 players for Hot Troops. It was not worth it.
It's that tunnel vision, baby. You know what I'm saying? You just have an elimination.
You want that
know
point.
it's there. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. You know, and it's a tough situation because, you know, it sucks whenever you're at this stage and you see so many teams not make it by one single point. You know what I'm talking about, Max, right? So, like, at a certain point, if you're MSJ, you see that free elimination, you bite it off, but it just turns out that, you know, Silas and squad is just waiting for you. I love watching Silas just throw that phone down, like, be like, back-to-back chicken dinners, baby. We got this. I love it.
If that wasn't an Infinix GT20 Pro, it probably would have shattered.
First wrangle today over in Severny, while Silas is just eye-gelling the team moving around, but wild 7 elimination, great conversion from that almost 900 damage. And I would have to say the most important fight this game, Hodges, that we've seen from RCB was very clearly when you had that skirmish to the west of the city. I think you had Geek Xavier, you had BTR, and you had a push also from the Vicious. They're all fighting, hoping to survive. And you just have RCB waiting. We'll just pick up whoever survives. And we just get full Southern control off the back of that. That was the clutch play that allowed
team is in the lead. Cover me! Reloading! Target down! Cover me!
Blue team victory!